A very good day. We are going to start our presentation on behalf of Sterling Consultation. This is a detailed audit of Lamesley Childcare with recommendations. I'm going to begin with the overview of Lamesley Childcare, which was established in June 1992, located in Lamesley, Gateshead. Now, Lamesley Childcare offers various services for children, families, including early childhood educational programs, inclusive special needs support, and supplementary services such as meals, transportation, and extended care hours. Now, there are many other services which has been offered by this particular company, which includes breakfast clubs, after-school provisions, and holiday clubs. The breakfast clubs and after-school provisions are available in 6 local schools, including Harlem in Community Primary School, Oakfield Infant Junior School, and Kells Lane Community Primary School. Now, going to the core competencies, it has been actually in 4 main services. The first services will be holiday childcare, breakfast clubs, and after-school provisions, as been mentioned earlier. Going towards the aims, which provides an inclusive, quality, and affordable childcare during the school time, and that's wonderful service. And moving towards the next activities, which can be bifurcated into main sections like 5 breakfast clubs, up to 300 breakfast club places per day, and 5 out of school clubs, up to 300 out of school club spaces per day, and 1 holiday club. These are the activities included by them. And going forward towards the achievements, they have achieved the highest level, which means level 3 in 4 children quality assurance scheme, which is actually into the Ofsted rating. So these are the core competencies of this institution. Now towards the next presentation will be dealt by the next team member. Thank you.
Hello. So I'll be talking about the analysis of the external environment, the PESTER analysis, and the SWOT analysis. Talking about the PESTER analysis, I'll start with the political factor. The political stability and government's commitment to early childhood, education it had great impact on childcare in general. Also, changes in funding and support for childcare programs and subsidies has also affect the financial viability of the business. Also, the impact of Brexit, it has high impact in the childcare in the UK. Then I'll be talking about the economic factors. Inflation it has great impact on how businesses can distribute its resources, as well as how it can obtain external funding, for instance, from bank loan. Also, the charity, it depends solely on parents and also on the government for in order for them to generate income, which has actually impacted negatively on this childcare. Then the social factors, the remote work, which makes it even more possible for the parents to look after their children. It also have impact on the childcare. Then the technological factor, um, technology-based technology-based children instructional materials, then utilizes technology to enhance staff training through online courses. Also, the environmental factor, the COVID-19 has also impacted on the childcare sector. Then the sustainability and natural disaster, it has also posed high risk and challenges. Then the legal factor, it is subject to regulatory oversight from Ofsted. Then this childcare must comply with employment laws and regulations such as health and safety, child protection, training, staff to child ratios. Then moving forward, I'll be talking next about the SWOT analysis, the strengths of this childcare. It is well established. It has well established and reputation within the community. Then it has experienced and qualified staff. Then the weaknesses, potential challenges in hiring and retaining qualified qualified staff, which it lacks. Then dependence on a single source of fund. This childcare solely depend on the government as well as the parents in order to fund the sector. Then Lamesley Nursery is a charitable organization with limited funding, which places restriction on its investment. Also, I'll be talking about the opportunities, increasing demand for childcare services due to changing family structure and work patterns, expansion into other location across Gateshead and Newcastle in general. Then the threat, this childcare, it has intense competition from other childcare providers in the environment, then economic downturns that lead to reduced demand for childcare services, also the legal regulatory changes that increase operating costs and requirements. Now, I will leave it for my colleague Sal to talk about the competitors in Newcastle.
Hi, my name is Salman. So today I'm going to explain the analysis of competitors. It's a comparison between Lamesley Childcare with other five childcare centers. And as we can see, there is five childcare centers. One is Lamesley Childcare, and second the Little Rascals, and third one is Little Acorns out of school care, and third one is fourth one is Kids Cabin, and the fifth one is Kids First Nurseries. So they're located in different places, but not in five places. As we can see, Lamesley Childcare and Little Icons out of school care and the kids first nurseries are in the same place. The location is Gateshead, and the kids cabin and the Little Rascals OSC are located at the same place. It's Newcastle upon Tyne. And for the five childcare centers, there is a category of age of children they provide the service to. Uh, sorry, they provide the service to. So age of children they cater to Lamesley Childcare. They provide the service to children who are born until 11 years old, and Little Rascals they provide service to 4 years to 11 years old, as same as Little Acorns out of school care. So the Little Rascals and the Little Acorns out of school care they provide the service to both the same age of children, and the kids cabin they provide children from age 4 to 12, and the kids post nurseries also provide the service as the same as Lamesley childcare. The children who are born to 12 years old, and they each childcare centers have a target marketing. So Lamesley Childcare has a local family seeking high quality childcare in Gateshead, and they provide service in full day and a half day nursery care, breakfast, after school, and holiday clubs with experienced staff and a safe environment. And Little Rascal provide they have targeting marketing of working parents in Newcastle and surroundings. They provide the service after school and holiday clubs with a range of activities including sports, craft, and games. And the Little Icon after school care, they provide a target marketing of working parents in Gateshead and surroundings, and they provide the same service as Little Rascals. For the kids cabin, they provide after school and holiday clubs with unique activities including music, dance, and drama. And kids first nursery, they provide a breakfast club, sorry sorry they provide a breakfast after school and holiday clubs with stimulating activities and experience staff. So passing on to the next slide, I'm going to explain the key financial trend about the Lamesley childcare. So the graph shows the total income and expenditure of the past 5 years. So as we can see, the total gross income in 2018 is for £30,36,000 in the income of 2018, and they have a total expenditure of the for 22,50,000, and as same as 2019 it's get increasing. From 2020 is the largest amount of income they had and the largest amount of expenditure also they had. But after coming 2021 they had a big loss in the total gross in income, so it was only 30.56,000, and for the they had more expense than the income. So as we can see, the expenditure is 431.24,000. So in 2022 they're back with again 492.03. So they had income from government contracts and income from government grants. So from 2020, 21, 22 they had from government grants, but in 2000, but for the government contracts, they only had in 2022 as same as the government grants in 2022. Next, I will be explained by my colleague.
Hello, my name is Mutolani. I would just briefly run through what job satisfaction and retention in the childcare industry has been like so far. Here we have a definition of job satisfaction by Blow et al. It refers to the level of positive emotions and employee experiences towards the organization, which can be a general satisfaction with the job overall or with certain aspects of the job or workplace, including but not limited to promotions, compensations, and interaction with colleagues. Now, these are some of the staffing challenges that are being faced by the childcare industry in general in the UK. We have the first thing is lack of flexibility and poor work-life balance, limited opportunities for personal training and development, the lack of financial incentive. Many staff are moving to other childcare services within, for example, within the NHS, some are switching to more lucrative careers, challenges with recruiting quality staff, as well as the strain of working through COVID-19, which we all know was very hectic, and the loss of workers that followed Brexit because they had to go back to their countries. Here is just a graph that is showing the trend of childcare staff turnover and retention in the UK. We can see that over time, it seems like more workers are leaving their employers than as the previous years. We can just see that the trend shows that there's an increasing turnover of childcare providers in the UK. I would talk about Hesberg's two-factor theory of motivation, and my colleague MD would take over from there. So basically, Hesberg just talks about how motivation can either be caused by hygiene factors or motivators. Now, hygiene factors are factors that are known as dissatisfiers. They include working conditions, salaries, relationships with colleagues, administrative policies, and so on. While motivators are the recognition, achievements, opportunity for career growth, and responsibility that is given to the employee. MD will talk more on how this is linked to the challenges being faced by Lamesley Childcare. Thank you.
Thank you, Mutulani. I'm Musfiqur Rahman. Now I will discuss about the challenges, their impact, and some possible recommendation of Lamesley Childcare. Next slide, please. In regards to staff communication, the challenges are poor communication channels and information loss, which can result in decreased productivity of team members and misunderstanding between staff and parents. In order to address this, introduction of daily handover session between staff, written communication journal for future reference, which cannot be communicated orally because of difficulty, and weekly, monthly team meetings can be done. Moving on to the next slide. In terms of promotion, it can be a bit tricky because the main challenge is that career growth and progress are little to none, which can result in a decreased recognition and rewards, leading to decreased motivation and job satisfaction. In order to solve it, compensation and benefit packages must be competitive and meet employees' needs. Moving on to the next slide. When it comes to decision making, the engagement of employees are poor, which actually leads to staff lacking motivation and satisfaction. Poor work engagement and less communication and respect between management and the staffs. Employees should be encouraged to share their personal and professional goals, and the anonymous suggestion box can help to address such issue. Moving on to the next one. The last major problems is limited work hours, resulting in increment in employee turnover rate and those who are working being dissatisfied with their earnings or their wages. Job analysis and job modification to reduce duplicate functions and improve efficiency, allocation of working hours to improve efficiency. These two can actually help reduce such problem. Now I'm going to pass on to my next colleague to talk about the recommendations. Thank you.
So I'll be talking about the recommendations, the some of the recommendations that we've drawn out for Lamesley Childcare. We have the effective feedback system, reward and promotion. Then we have improved working hours, then improved employee engagement. Lamesley Childcare should try to encourage frequent staff meetings, then introduce 360-degree feedback communication breaks. Then they should establish a performance evaluation system. Also, they should partner with other childcare facilities in order to expand the staff work opportunities, efficient and the efficient and fair allocation of work hours. Also, there should be a regular in-depth and conversation with employees about their personal and professional aspirations. Then they can also introduce an anonymous suggestion boxes. Also, I will hand over to my colleague Mutolani to do the Gantt charts and also introduce the budget analysis.
So finally, while we're wrapping up, this is just showing us the timeline of the recommendations that we have provided. We can see that the implementation of effective feedback, reward, and promotion, the timeline is between the year April 2023 to March 2024. We can see that everything is ongoing. However, some would be tested for about 4 months and then evaluated, while some will be tested for about 6 months and then evaluated. We can see at the end here that we have biannual team bonding meetings, and that is shown how between May and June, the first one, and then between November and December, the second one. And finally, in conclusion, here is our budget analysis. As seen earlier, Lamesley Childcare doesn't have so much running around funds, so much liquid funds. So the budget is really slim. However, we've allocated £1,000 to staff training and staff meetings, £2,000 for extra rewards and maybe promotion opportunities, expansion of staff work opportunities. That's where they're partnering with more schools. We've allocated £2,000 for that. Improved employee engagement. We haven't allocated any amount because it's going to be done with resources already on ground. And the total of our budget is £5,000. And this brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you.